everybody, hope you're doing really well. Today, situated literally right behind me, is Barton's Point Battery, which I've had exclusive access to film. So without further ado, enjoy your history lesson and let's get down there and check it out for ourselves. I think you're in for a treat today, I promise you. Come on. On this channel, I've been lucky enough to have permission to visit and record some truly incredible sights. And with that, in today's video, Barton's Point Battery will rank among one of the best in Kent that I've ever had the chance to document. Situated on the Isle of Sheppey in Sheerness, Barton's Point was built during the late 1800s to form part of the outer defences known as the Queenborough Lines, which was a continuous earth rampart and broad wet ditch extending for 2.2 miles across the Sheerness Peninsula, built in the 1860s. Its role was to protect Sheerness Dockyard and Garrison Point Fort from land attack, as well as the town itself. But as to Barton's Point Battery itself, well, the battery was constructed on the seafront next to the military canal. Initially a fort was proposed for each end, but only Barton's Point was built. It would mount two 9.2 inch breech-loader guns and two 6 inch breech-loader guns, all on disappearing carriages using the Moncrief mountings that allowed the guns to be concealed in deep pits. By 1901 it was serving as a training battery and was decommissioned as an operational battery in 1905. It was partially reactivated during the First World War when infantry defences were constructed and two anti-aircraft guns were installed to the south of the original gun positions in 1919, with the disappearing carriage guns being withdrawn around the same time. Eventually the battery would become mothballed until 1932 to 1934, when the searchlight battery was installed by the Army and would be transferred to the Navy in 1938 and become part of H.M. Gunnery School Chatham, but continued to serve as a searchlight battery during the Second World War. The Navy then used it for anti-aircraft gunnery training, with the school eventually closing in 1961. Now owned by the CYC Coastal Club, what's left is a fascinating relic of when at one time this island was at its most defended, giving us a look into its many military uses. This site really is a special place and one I will never forget, and it's with that I hope a video like this can prove as a document to the site's incredible history. Hello everybody, hope you're doing really well. So we've made it here to Barton's Point Battery. Really hope you enjoyed that history lesson, and I am now with John, who is going to give us basically a tour around, which is really cool. And we are now currently standing on top of the battery. There's so many different phases of history. Obviously in your history lesson we just focused on the main bit, which obviously the 4 gun emplacements, and then obviously it's history after that. But John was kind enough to show us around, and also you're great because you've also done some restoration yourself here, haven't you?
Bit of digging.
Bit of digging.
Bit of digging.
Yeah, and it looks really good, by the way, really clean. So let's go, and we're going to start our way bottom, walking around, and then we'll work our way back up to the top. So let's carry on. Come then, John.
And that's all that's left. Minutes.
Right.
Minutes, yeah. Hi there.
Hi, so hi, we're John again. So he's going to now show us, so we're at the very tip of the battery itself. So John, just show us around them, mate, if that's all right.
This area here was the oil store previously. It's obviously been knocked down. A lot of the yellow brick rubble is buried underneath the bunker. There's the top of one of the bunkers, which obviously we can't access, but we walk this way.
By the way, everybody, it is windy today, so we have used the wind muff, so if it's coming out a little bit, we do apologise, but it's just purely just to document this and have a bit of a gander. So
these steps will lead us up to, which would have been a gun sighted there.
Yep.
another gun here.
You can just about make out the circle, can't you, from where
Yeah.
they've sort of like capped it over a little
Yeah.
bit.
And well, studs can't see.
Yeah.
So this is the top of the mound where the pop-up gun.
This is quite familiar to people who've probably seen my channel, where you've seen this semicircular design of these big old guns that would have popped out and retracted and come back in and out. So yeah, amazing. You were saying whilst we were walking around, hang on, I'll turn this around. You were saying when we were walking around that there was about was it English Heritage or somebody had said about obviously when it had been capped over, that if they were to undig it, that they reckoned
They could be a gun down there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
incredible
You know,
if that's the case.
That's the rumour. This is obviously on top of the main bunker where you've got two
Yeah.
gun emplacements. You've still got the steps in place, which take us down to, that would have been an air vent.
Right. A good old
This is
air
on the
vent.
top of the bunker.
Yeah.
This is on the top of the bunker. So we're going to walk this way. Those steps.
Oh yeah, didn't even Joe, I didn't even notice that. The old steps there just lying there.
They would have been probably on top there.
God,
So
look at
if
that.
we go back up. that
Yeah, let's
way,
do that. I'm just gonna follow you.
it'll be a lot safer.
I think the shame is, in one respect, is obviously to put this in a historical sort of context, is that we are literally by the sea, and obviously these guns are very, very close to where it would have obviously been aiming at. So it's hard to tell when you're here, but I can promise you.
Now this would have all been iron railings.
Yeah, good old iron
Yeah,
railings.
These steps to take us down.
I like the way that they've been sort of tiled.
Steady.
It was tiled, it was obviously Navy, Army never tiled thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you have one of the original chains, anchor chains
Yeah.
to hold the guns down. This would be, that would have been where the shell lift came up,
yeah,
but we'll show you around inside in a minute. That would have been for the electronics, to run the electric hoist.
yeah.
So we walk this way.
It's amazing that I get to have a lovely guided tour and stuff, and it's just like, you know, especially from someone who's actually helped clean it out and renovate it, it's just remarkable, really.
Now this we can't get in there, but this was the oil store.
Yeah,
There's a door there, and that's obviously where they filled the oil lamps.
yeah.
I've dug it out inside there, but now here, somebody was obviously here in 1948.
Look at that.
Now here we have these. What's left? There would have been a shelf, a rack. Here. Now this leads us to.
Yeah, this is what we'd seen. We'd sort of just bring.
This
Is
is
it a
the-
cartridge that says?
Yeah,
though,
it's
isn't
the
it?
cartridge
It's cartridge
store.
store. Yeah.
And there was a number there, but they're faded out. Right, these are the would have been the light wells
Yeah.
where the oil lamps would have been stored, and they're the vents.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously there.
And they would have had a certain type of, I mean, I've seen them before, they would have had like a type of glass, wouldn't they? It was sort of
Yeah.
like stained glass, but it was like really sort of,
yeah,
I've seen those.
glass.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because like either red or green, I think was the
Now,
colours,
this
wasn't
would
it?
be the cartridge store. Still got the original doors.
There you go. That's where we roughly are at the moment.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And then we've still got some of the old conduit hanging.
Yeah, because that's World War II, we're sort of saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
That fixture from when it
Yeah.
was used as a searchlight
Yeah.
battery as well. But I'm amazed that the green is still here. Those
Yeah.
colours from that and that white.
And we've still got a couple of butterflies hibernating.
Oh, bless them, yeah.
But there's the air vent
Yeah, the
that I was
vent.
talking about
Yeah,
on the top.
yeah, yeah.
That's the light well. That's part of an old door lamp that was here. These were part of the glass, obviously from the.
Look at that.
And
then
that's
underneath
where
there. So if you
it
can
would have been passed through. We can walk round.
Yeah, yeah, and you can see just in there like a little generator plinth, but there's a little bit more in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
So have a look at that.
Fitting.
Look at that, man. Like I said, the condition of this, I've seen various different conditions of these types of like faults and stuff. I didn't even notice the doors, look, 'cause that's what you're saying about them double doors.
Yeah,
look at that.
double doors.
I don't think I've ever seen that in a fault.
I did do the hinges and everything was working, but it's seized up over the last couple of years.
Oh, come on. Honestly, from experience, just to find those is...
Oh, it's my old shovel. Right. Onwards. So, now to the main part. I think these are relatively new where people have got in over the years. But down here, there was a web belt there which would have gone across to stop people coming in when obviously things were being moved. We've got...
So now we're in like two different phases, aren't we? Because we've got the World War II phase here, which is our generator plinths. We've also got still the original sort of like late 1800s sort of section as well.
Old light well there.
Yeah.
Lovely area.
I love them because they're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I said, just to even see them, and that's what I like as well. Sorry, doing like them little vented, the little vent bricks. I love those as well.
Fantastic.
And to see them in actually, most of the time I've seen them. Oh, sorry, I'm being really.
Yeah, that is.
What are we working at?
Telling us what the shells.
Shells,
were.
yeah, I can see LLS.
Whatever it was for the actual.
It's coming out really well on the camera, which is great. So that's
right.
good.
So if we now look this way. Hadn't quite finished digging this out, but I'd found the plinth to the left. Careful.
Good old spiders.
I put that there because I kept banging my head on it. But yeah, it was all dug out by hand.
Oh wow, look at that.
You still got
the original frame.
Original frame. There's that was obviously for the electrical supply.
Yeah, where them little, I can sort of see where they're coming from. Look at that.
And so this was the last bit, but I hadn't had a chance to dig it out. And this is the original brickwork for the lift.
That is incredible.
Careful.
Yeah.
And then you've got where the conduit was for the electrical supply.
Yeah.
And coming back up this way, there would have been a shelf there of some sorts, which was all filled in. Got the original bracket there, along there, so whatever was there.
Do you know what? Like I said, though, it's amazing, like these little things, because every time I've been into ones like this, I've always seen those vent bricks being completely broken. So to see ones, even those little vent bricks, to see them in great condition.
The vent bricks.
Yeah, look at
other
that.
bits of glass, or mirrored glass.
Yeah, cool.
No.
Wow.
All got them. That would have been 3
Yeah.
hinges. Same again, there's another vent there.
So you don't normally see those little hinge brackets or the corners of those sometimes. Normally they're quite brilliant. Little cabling coming through. I love that.
Yeah.
Bit of DIY.
And then the last part is obviously when
You're right.
there would have been something to stop the trolleys or whatever.
Yeah.
As they came up.
Because I mean that's a heavy old weight, isn't it? Really.
I think the cabling came in and still got some old wire in there. Just there. That's the old wiring coming in, which would have been, as we said earlier, we're now at the other end where the
with the old steps.
the electrics.
Amazing. Oh, that's so fantastic, isn't it?
Careful. But this was all up to the ceiling. You couldn't stand up.
Really?
It was both ends. That was full of concrete.
So I was going to say, what type of like rubbish was it, sort of thing? Was it just?
It's just rubbish. I found old milk bottles. There was all sorts. I even found a live shell.
So yeah, we're not talking about it. So obviously for most of the people who are familiar with my channel, these are generator plinths, but these, interesting enough, because they're searchlight ones, they're not, normally you'd see thicker ones, but these are like minier, these are smaller generator plinths, not your big old standard. That one's quite a standard sort of size.
These would be all the fittings that were found in here. I've bagged up covers
Oh,
and
look
some
at that.
stuff. But, yeah, just left them here.
That's remarkable, isn't it?
That's what we use at any time. But
Again, if you really wanted a nice little restoration project, you've got lots of little extra bits you can put in, haven't you? Do you know what I mean?
man alive.
That is remarkable.
Right, yeah, so
Should we make our way out?
this was my life for 18 months.
Oh, you should be proud of yourself, mate, honestly. Right.
There's something cartridge store.
Yeah. And then you've got
something
entrance, that's entrance.
with an arrow.
Yeah.
Pointing that way. Right. So
Right, let's go.
that's that, Johnny.
So now come outside. So John, if you just tell us about what, again, just remind us about these two sections that you'd seen there. So
This section here would have been the oil store,
yeah,
and obviously to fill the lamps up to take into
Yeah.
the cartridge store.
and what was it like in there when you had a look? Was
It was basically all the green colours, everything. It was totally original. Really.
Was it just like a rectangular sort of like
Yeah,
structure
just a
in there? Just a, yeah,
rectangular.
like a little.
It doesn't
yeah.
go far
No,
back.
no.
But there would have been a stove, or no, there was like a gully for where they filled the oil lamps, because obviously the overspill, didn't want it all over the floor everywhere. Live ammunition. You can see how I dug it out, and that was the depth right the way through.
So that's actually the depth of when it would have been on the level. Amazing,
and
isn't it?
here, just here, there would have been a road that ran through.
Just as a
Concrete,
yeah.
Because there must be a step down to it.
Sometimes you'd have them in little gullies or rails, and sometimes they'd have them as drainage rails as well. I've seen those as well, where you have like these little drainage rails, depending on how deep you are, because obviously you want, if it's raining heavily, you want to flood that water out as best as possible. Not in every case, but you do see it. Right, this is the exciting
Middle
bit.
section.
This is the bit I've not seen yet, so we'll get some good old reactions. Wow, look at that. So we know
That was a 6-inch.
Yeah, so we know it's a 6-inch one.
16 pounders.
Sorry, one just got my foot tangled. £6. Yeah, look at that.
That's the vent. The original vent.
So we know that obviously on this site we were sort of saying they had 6 inches, they had 9.2s,
Yeah.
and then obviously they had the aircraft as well. Yeah, look at that.
World War II, still got the.
Because I'm assuming most of now what we're going to see is going to be when it was probably part of the training school.
Yeah.
Most of it within that.
This would have been like for electrical.
Yeah.
Still
Look
got
at the old
the
girder up at the
submarines,
top as
yeah.
well.
Getting a bit rusty now, but they can be salvaged. And then
that. Look at that.
yeah.
Wow. Huh. That is incredible.
Yeah.
Really something special, that.
I'll take it. That was for the electrical supply.
Yeah, little
For
cabling.
the, pop-up gun.
Yeah. Look at that.
And then we've got the original, once again, links to hold the
Yeah,
Downstairs.
little anchor chain.
anchor chains. They're still in place.
But this is so cool because you're actually, again, you're following the layout of what would have been above. This semicircular little, section is. I feel like a kid at Christmas, John, and stuff. I feel very spoiled today with this. It's amazing.
Lots of bits and pieces have gone, but what they were,
Well,
we can only guess at.
yeah. I mean, even what's left is just remarkable. I didn't, but that is incredible.
A
That.
lot of this is, as I say, fading away now, so it needs to be recalled.
Yeah, of course it does. See, that to me, I wonder how that looks newer. That writing, in terms of it looks more. Does that make sense to you? Like, it's normal sort of like normally I'd expect it to look a little bit thicker, but it might be over time that they maybe just labelled it because they knew that that's. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that is amazing.
And if there was something there,
Yeah.
probably a number.
Yeah.
We've still got a couple of numbers on some of the buildings. Mind that.
That's okay, yeah. Right. On to the next one, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, let's keep going. So we just have a breather quickly. We just because there's so much amazing stuff here. John's just obviously mentioned about the air raid shelter, which I didn't even know about myself. So John, if you want to just sort of talk about that for us,
Yeah,
right, mate.
there's an air raid shelter down the bottom of the stairs, leads to an ante room, and at the end of the ante room, there's a brick wall, which is obviously bricked up. We've knocked through. It's full of water. There's a passageway that I believe runs to the coast road.
Right, okay.
But unfortunately we can't get down there.
But you've got some footage, and if we've got it, everyone, what we'll do is I will place that over so you get to see it as well, just obviously to put it in context. So yeah, hopefully John's, well I know John's still got it, but hopefully we can get it and then try and put it on this video. If not, don't worry about it. Best that we know that it's here regardless. So let's just keep going, mate.
These stairs we uncovered, we dug out. That's the vent pipe for the air raid shelter. You can't see anything, unfortunately.
I can see a bit of green still, but wow. Do you reckon that was more of a modern design that they'd taken from, in terms of they'd made that additional from that, do you reckon?
I would imagine so, yeah.
And do you reckon that would have been more when it was part of the Searchlight battery, do you reckon?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So then we've got a gun emplacement there.
Yeah, so I've got taken a photo of that, so that's...
Start raining.
Yeah, your rain's kicking in, everyone. We'll be alright though. Right.
Yeah, so I believe it runs underneath down to the road.
Amazing.
Another gun emplacement.
Is there another gun in place for everyone?
Yeah.
Huh. What do you think some of them were concrete over and others weren't, do you reckon?
I haven't got a clue.
Just
There's one
specifics.
there, obviously, because
Oh yeah, look at that.
they used to go out.
Finger down roll.
Yeah. They used to jut out, and there's bunkers at the front. We'll go there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right.
I think what I find really amazing about all this is the amount of different situ that this is actually in, with lots of different phases that probably gives it more credence than the actual.
Because these were jutted out.
Yeah.
They're on the plans.
Yeah, they are on the plans.
Just working out the plans.
But it's the fact that obviously its main use really just did have those initial 4 guns, and I think really what you got to try to say to yourself is actually there was way more here.
Guns here.
First realised. Oh yeah.
Guns here.
So they were, I think, weren't they light? They were light ones, weren't they?
Yeah,
I think
these
light
were-
and
yeah.
craft, weren't
They
they?
could have been the searchlights.
Yeah.
But there was obviously definitely something there. Still some
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Was it this one? No. There's one further along,
Oh yeah.
which the guns came out there. There are bigger guns on there.
Okay.
And you can't actually get in that bunker, but there is a slit at the front. But we'll
That's
come back to
amazing.
that.
Yeah, no, of course. There's the old top of the bunker.
Not been able to uncover any of this yet. It costs thousands. We haven't got the money.
So what are we expecting to see underneath all this then?
Doors, anything.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. Now, this is the one that might be flooded.
Right, okay.
These were just stores.
Yeah. Look at that.
Naval. Obviously, that's been put on.
Yeah, very familiar, that sort of. Yeah.
There's not a lot left here. There's some original, well, I say original, it's World War II.
Oh yeah, look at that. Huh. Your window frame.
Yeah, the glass.
Huh. See, I mean, that to me in itself is just remarkable that even that is still, you know,
Still there.
still there.
And the other one will be, obviously,
Yeah, mirrored. Yeah.
Mirrored. So this is the one. Yeah, it's water.
Let's have a look.
Flooded out.
Do you reckon if I got some wellies, I'll be alright to go in there, do you reckon?
Chance it.
No.
Don't know what's there. It's a bit dangerous. It's the old, but
Oh yeah, the old electricals.
yeah.
Wow.
There's still a little bit of writing there, but
Oh yeah, Saint. Oh, I don't know about that. Saint. I want to say store maybe, but I'm not. Again, hard to
there's,
tell.
I was going to be careful because there's all pipe work.
That's okay. Yeah, got my old big boots on.
What they were for.
No, God, I don't even know on that one. Got original lighting from the.
There's something up there.
Oh yeah, I see that. Like a little marker.
Fuse board.
Oh yeah, it's so familiar, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what is it? Is it just a square layout though, anyway, isn't it? Really?
Basically, see, look, there's the old.
Oh yeah, yeah,
light
got you.
bulb.
Yeah.
There's the light switch. World War II.
Yeah.
Obviously. The original door, I would imagine.
Yeah, I can see that at a distance you're on.
With the, that's the main electrical
Wow.
box. The vents.
Is it just? Hang on, let me
Just
just
poke your head
yeah, I'll
down.
poke me around, see if I can get the old camera around if I can just squeeze. Oh yeah, we're alright.
You don't really know what's
In there.
in there.
No sharks.
I'm proud.
Prawns.
Perhaps
That'd be a video in itself, wouldn't it?
the old timber shelf.
Sheppy piranhas.
There's a few of those. That was a rack of
Yeah, it was a
some
rack,
sort, I would
wasn't
have thought, yeah. And that would have been something.
Oh, I don't know, but yeah, that's an
That would
interesting
have
bit,
been
isn't it?
bar going across the other
Yeah.
side. I don't know. Nothing there.
No.
There's one there. That's all these little things. That goes right the way through, I think.
Do you think, like, when you
That
visit
would have been
in...
the electrical supply coming in.
Yeah, so when you've seen these before, obviously, like, do you always notice little things every time you pop in, every time, do you know what I mean? Did you sort of go, oh yeah, I haven't seen that?
Some actual racks there.
Yeah.
And not the old metal girders, ceiling.
Look at that, yeah.
That's the vent all blocked off right
Yeah, I noticed that.
there. Going this way, you've
Let's have a quick... see
light
what-
well.
Too bad around there.
Just get
So that's going to mirror that, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Right. Let's check.
and then blocked off those light wells for whatever reason.
Oh yeah.
And that door.
So basically, everybody, that is going to look exactly the same as the
Yeah.
opposite side.
And there is a passageway there,
Oh yeah, look at that.
which can only be accessed by going down there.
Yeah, right the way round.
Yeah. It'll be on the original
Yeah.
survey in 2011, but it's a bit dodgy.
No, I get you.
We don't know what's under there. Any chances? But we get an idea.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact again, that little bit of like, you know, labelling's still there as well. Oh yeah, didn't even see that. Oh, that's again like trying to work out cartridge store as well. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, it's yeah. RIDGE store. Huh. That is remarkable.
There's something on the wall there.
Oh yeah, that's that marker, isn't it? I think
Yeah,
that's
so
what
it's
I'm saying
probably
about.
denoting which light well they're talking about.
Yeah, probably.
Or whatever, something
No,
like
no,
that,
no, yeah, absolutely.
which would have been.
Oh, it's just incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right,
Cool.
let's head out.
flagpole.
Well, yeah. Little flagpole, yeah, look at that. Again, like these tiny little things.
Yeah.
Right, let's put it all into context so that see how it wraps around everyone. Remarkable, really. Right, and then we were saying that that's the naval section. So one of its last phases, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
What was that for? Exactly? Just
That
for
would
them,
be the
just for the
offices.
offices, yeah.
Would have been the wardroom, etc.
Yeah. And what about that building as
That
well? Would have been the same, or?
That would have been the same.
Yeah.
Would have been a mess.
So that would have been up until, because that looks fairly modern-ish, so it would have been up until 1960s, wouldn't it? Sort of thing, when it
prior
probably would
to
have
that.
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prior to that, would have been it would have been the 40s actually.
Oh really? Yeah.
There were a lot of buildings around here, like these shower blocks and all the rest of it, but they've all gone.
Yeah. And what about, and also saying, whilst we're, sorry mate, like whilst we're saying about, because obviously that was like the social club pub, but that was also
That was built on after.
That was built on after.
Yeah, and you've still got you can still see where the guns were.
Yeah. Because
On the
originally there was two
concrete.
guns on either side of that as
This
well.
one, unfortunately, we can't get in there.
But that would have gone. Do you know the layout of that though? Do you reckon?
That was just
Just
underneath,
going, yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, because there was all really magazine stores, weren't they? Apart from, like I said, you saying about the far one we first started, which was a fuel store.
Yeah.
And obviously when it got converted in World War II, it was just the searchlight stuff, wasn't it?
Searchlights.
Yeah. So really, it's quite straightforward to sort of figure out what would have been what, and then
Yeah.
obviously once you see that, amazing, really. Right.
Probably better go on this one.
Yeah. Right. So the rain's starting to hit us a little bit, but we're determined. We're almost finished, didn't we?
Yeah,
John? So
nearly there.
we're heading up to the top back now. Then.
Nearly there.
Oh.
So we're on top of this bunker, which we can access.
Yeah, so we're on top of this bunker, we can access. Oh yeah, you can see. I see there's a few little holes. I remember noticing them when I'd come up here.
Yeah. Gun emplacement there.
Yeah.
This would have actually been where there were concrete, not concrete, metal pillars. It would have been a gantry.
Yeah.
There was a gantry that ran out across there. There was a gantry all the way around here.
So you know the road, right? Forgive me
Yeah.
for being slightly naive because I've only just sort of thought about this, but like we've got a road that obviously dissects over here. Now, how that road's been there for how long do you reckon then?
Oh, not that long.
Not that
because it was
long.
Shingle
Yeah.
all the way along.
So originally
it's-
that would have just come straight
would have been
out.
straight to the beach.
Yeah. So hard to put that into context when you're here, really.
You've got all the water gullies, etc. I think that was a pod there for putting water in to cool the guns down. You see, this was
Yeah.
a gun. Yeah.
See, that's hexagonal, isn't it? Or like,
Yeah.
was it sort of hexagonal? So I think that. Do you reckon that was a searchlight from
Would have been a
memory? That
searchlight.
one and that.
Don't know.
Not
Would have been a
sure.
searchlight.
And then you're saying that's the bunker. That's what we're looking at, wasn't it?
This, you've got really circular there.
Yeah. Right in that bit.
Could have been a searchlight.
Yeah.
That. And then we had.
Oh. Oh wow! Look at that.
Now this was all dug out by hand. It was done by hand.
So this was dug out, everybody, by hand on
So that would
this.
have been a big act that gun.
Look at that. Yeah.
And obviously, what was
Yeah. Holding it. Yeah.
got the electrical
See that.
supply there,
Huh.
and the electrical supply also ran into the bunker. You've got the stairs here.
Yeah.
A central slope, so obviously it's to run.
Yeah. The
something
yeah.
up
Yeah.
And to walk up. There was a door here somewhere.
It's well overgrown if it is now, isn't it?
No, you can't see. There's a brick pillar there.
Was it right underneath? Yeah. Look at that.
2 brick pillars.
But it's amazing that if there was, I mean, you can just see how
Yeah.
well that, like I said, just how overgrown that was to get the idea of it all.
All of it was overgrown. This was a project completed over a couple of years, really, mainly by hand.
Took you genuinely, what, about a couple of years? Yeah.
Pods,
Look at that.
I think they were for cooling.
Huh.
Down there.
Remarkable.
And then
Oh yeah.
If you look down there, there's a little door.
Oh yeah, look,
Blocked
little
off.
door there. Everyone, you just see the lip of it. It's just been blocked off.
That can take us inside. That's the only way I know how to get
So it's
in.
interesting that that was facing outwards in a strange way. Well, you would have assumed it would have faced inwards.
Could have been like a window or whatever,
Yeah.
because the entrance is obviously here somewhere.
Yeah.
There's got to be a door somewhere,
Remarkable.
but where? I don't know. But
Right, shall we get a bit less? The rain's coming down there, I tell you.
but that's basically it. So we've been down to the front there.
Yeah.
There's a bunker there.
Pretty much underneath that house.
Yeah, under there.
Another bunker. Wow.
I said about 1 o'clock, a bit early. So you can see from here, we walk down here, there were metal structures,
Oh yeah, little
Yeah,
platform
there.
there, isn't there?
so all the seats are metal structures there.
Yeah.
So it would have been a gantry or whatever.
Yeah. There's an interesting part of structure here, isn't there? But like I said, because it was a gunnery training, you know, one of its last phases, they're going to have lots of different, you know,
Bits and pieces.
really, is probably the best way of saying it. I mean, English Heritage, we were sort of saying, like, there's if you really want an extensive report, I mean, English Heritage did do an amazing report on this place. Really extensive and really detailed. For us today, it's just a video capture, really, what we can today, if possible, and just go from there and sort of use that as a backup, if that makes sense. But yeah,
Last but not least,
last but not least,
we're going to where the guns were sighted here.
so on this one, from memory, yeah, so there would have been a gun on either side.
Yeah.
So there would have been one there, and then there would have been another one on the opposite
Yeah.
side.
Still got the bolts and
Oh yeah.
everything there, and just about.
Yeah, I
looking
can see.
out.
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure the camera will pick them up, but
I don't see anything there, but basically this was built on top,
yeah.
and that was a lookout built on afterwards.
Yeah, because there's a few lookouts obviously across the whole Isle of Sheppey, isn't there, really? And most of them are sort of like that, you know.
So that is basically it.
All right.
That is it. That's where the other gun would have been.
Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, I can see it. The old semicircle, look, from where it would have completed its run, where the gun would have been, everyone.
On the other corner.
Huh.
So that's it.
No, that's
Apart
crazy,
from
that,
getting-
isn't it?
Apart from getting into those other bunkers,
You've done a pretty good
which
job,
is
mate.
a shame.
Right, well look, we'll end it here, I reckon, then.
Yeah. And here we are.
Well, here we are. Here we are. Back again. I
Back
just
at
want,
the beginning.
that's it. Just want to say massive thanks, obviously, John, for showing us around. Sorry, it's a little bit rough and ready, this video, but it needed to be for the context of what we were doing today, because it's really just to video and document what is here and what is available. Like I said, there's a couple of things that were blocked off, and that's fine, but at least we know they're in there, and you've obviously got that amazing addition. Yeah, this was Barton's Point Battery. Thank you, John. Thank you to everybody at the club, including Paula as well. She's amazing for obviously giving us the access as well, and obviously Terry as well.
Yeah, cool.
For obviously giving us some initial information. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Take care, everybody. This was Phoenix History. See you later, everybody. Goodbye. Bye.